Okay, income tax, right? Obviously, this applies to everyone who works, because everyone gets taxed. And we've got here, Mackenzie says she applies for a job, and it says the annual salary before tax of £12,000. Okay, now I think actually highlighting all of that is important to appreciate that the salary is annual, right? So they're talking about the yearly salary. So that's how much you'll get paid over the course of the whole year. Now, obviously that will be split up, maybe split up so she gets paid monthly, yeah? Or it could be weekly, right? It doesn't really matter, but that's what it will total to in a year, okay? Hence that word annual. And before tax, right, what that means is that £12,000 hasn't been taxed yet. So she will be taxed and she won't get all of that £12,000, okay? She won't get to keep all of it because a certain amount of it is going to be taxed. And government will take it. Now, we've got the tax rates here, right? And if you go onto a government website on tax, they'll tell you the tax rates for any particular year. And it says here, right, in this setup here, no tax on the first £8,000 of earnings, okay? So you don't pay any tax. But then earnings in excess, okay? So that word excess means above, right, or over, okay? So over £8,000 will be taxed at a rate of 20%. Okay, so there's your tax rate. So how much tax will Mackenzie pay in total? Now, if you look at her salary, all right, £12,000, everything from 0 up to £8,000 of that won't get taxed at all. Okay, because it does say, doesn't it, no tax on the first £8,000 of earnings. In other words, she won't have to pay any tax. She'll get to keep all of that £8,000. But anything in excess, right, or over £8,000, she'll have to pay this tax rate of 20%. Now, of course, she does earn over £8,000. It goes all the way up to £12,000. Okay? And that will be taxed at 20%. Okay? Now, what's good? She's not paying any tax there. We need to focus on this section here, on what she's going to be paying tax on. So she's paying tax on everything she earns above 8,000. So let's work out how much money is going to be there, okay, for the 20% tax rate. Okay, so there's a 20% tax rate, and we focus on this income band here. So everything above 8,000, when she earns up to 12,000. So let's see how much money that actually is she's going to be taxed on. If I just take it away, I can see what that gap is there. I mean, you might be able to see it, okay? It's quite straightforward, isn't it? It's just 4,000. So she's going to be taxed 20% on this amount of income here, everything above 8,000 up to 12,000, and that's £4,000. So in that £4,000 of income there, she's going to be taxed 20%. So let's just work out what 20% is of that. 20% of 4,000. Of course, we need to show our method here, so what we're going to type into our calculator. 20% will be 0.2 as a decimal, times is what of is, and then 4,000. So if I get my calculator there, type that in, and it comes out to be £800. So that's what she will be taxed. So she'll be taxed £800, and we've worked it out. Okay, so she said she gets to keep all of this, £8,000, but then everything above here, which is £4,000, she's going to be taxed 20% of that. So she paid £800 tax, which means she gets to keep the rest. So in part B then, it says, what is Mackenzie's monthly earnings? And notice then, after tax is deducted. So we've got to actually deduct this tax now, okay? And we want the monthly, don't we, earnings. So what I need to do is work out what her annual earnings are. And you might think, well, they've already told us. It's £12,000. But, of course, annual earnings after tax is taken out. Well, we've got to take the £800 away from it, haven't we? So actually, our annual earnings then after tax will be £11,200 when you take that away. Okay, so that's how much she'll earn in a year. But we want monthly, so we need to work out then what that will be a month. Of course, there are 12 months in a year, so it's quite simply that income will get split by 12. That's what usually happens, paid monthly. And on my calculator, I just put that in, 11,200 divided by 12, so it comes out as a fraction there. So if I press the SD button, okay, it comes out as that there. So it comes out as 933.3. Now the dot above it means that it's recurring, so it repeats and repeats. But of course, money, I only need 2 decimal places, so 3, obviously it would keep going, yeah, but we don't need everything after the 2nd decimal place, so I can chop that off, and because there's a 3, I'd round it down, so £933.33.